I'm Natasha Curzon, and I'm going to talk to you about sexual assault on the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire campus.
Imagine 4 high school friends entering college, excited about the opportunities the next 4 years have to offer. During their time in college, one of these 4 women will join a sorority. One will live at home and commute to class. One will aspire to get a PhD. One will study abroad. And, unfortunately, before they graduate, 1 in 4 will be sexually assaulted. Sexual assault is any type of sexual contact or behavior that occurs without affirmative consent. Affirmative consent is voluntary, enthusiastic, continuous, and communicative. Sexual assault and rape are far too prevalent at college campuses. 1 out of 16 men and 1 out of 4 women are sexually assaulted while in college. People of color, people with disabilities, and people who are LGBTQ experience higher rates of sexual assault and rape. 28% of transgender students are sexually assaulted. 80 to 90% of women sexually assaulted on campus do not report. University administrators discourage students from reporting so they can claim low numbers of sexual assaults. Yet without accurate information, rape can continue to be denied as a widespread phenomenon. In many instances, colleges care more about their reputation than caring for and protecting their students. Despite myths about high rates of false reports, only about 2 to 8% of all sexual assault accusations reported to police are false. This is the same as the false reporting rate for any violent crime. A man is more likely to be a survivor of sexual assault than to be falsely accused of raping someone.
I chose to do this video because sexual assault is a horrible crime that doesn't get the attention it deserves nor the justice it should demand. Too many of my loved ones, friends, and fellow students are getting raped and sexually assaulted. It feels like a ticking time bomb, as if all we can do is wait for another sexual assault to happen. It is time to raise awareness and command a stop to this. The Dean of Students, Joseph Uphold, shares information about sexual assault on Eau Claire campus in an email for a different sexual assault project on campus. They are only able to investigate cases where they are provided with a report that includes naming a student as a perpetrator. So the number of cases investigated is very different than the number of reports received. He says, "We utilize a preponderance standard of evidence, which means a responsible person should be led to believe that it is more likely than not that X occurred. Hence, just believing in one's gut is not sufficient. Sometimes we have electronic evidence, messages that suggest guilt. Other times, one party changes their story in a manner that reduces their credibility. We almost never have physical evidence or witnesses to the actual incident. The assaults range from 2nd to 4th degree. In Wisconsin state law, 4th degree sexual assault is sexual contact, which would be defined under the Clery Act as fondling." He goes on to say, "We investigated 8 cases of sexual assault in last year, 2015-16. We found the alleged responsible in 5 cases. 1 case was clearly retaliation, another was not responsible, and the last was insufficient evidence. Of the 5 found responsible, 4 were suspended for 1 year, and 1 was suspended for 2 years. The university consults with the victims concerning the level of sanctioning/outcomes they would like to see. Joseph Uphold says, "We generally add other items such as mental health interventions, assessments, relationship violence intervention, continuing no contact orders, and no classes together in the future. We sometimes go with a lower sanction as part of an agreement to avoid a hearing. All UW systems institutions use the same judicial code, and expulsion is quite rare, though this may be changing. Expulsion from UWEC equals a lifetime ban from every institution in the UW system, not just Eau Claire. This is very different from expulsions from a single private school. The University of Eau Claire, Wisconsin has not done a single expulsion for any reason since he has been Dean of Students." How often do you get reports due to sexual assault?
It depends on the year. They're not very frequently reported to our office. For example, in 2015 we had 9 cases reported. In this year, in 2016, so far we've had 4 cases of sexual assault reported to our campus.
What is your protocol for sexual assault?
So just for our protocol, our job is more just the information gathering, so interviewing the victim if she's willing to speak to us, and then if we do have suspects, trying to follow up, interview witnesses, collect any evidence that we have, with DNA. We assist with getting them the help with different resources from campus, so whether that be if they want to speak to somebody from CASA, or if they'd like to get a SANE exam done at one of the hospitals, we'll transport them and assist with that.
What's the difference between reporting to campus police and local police?
As far as the investigation process goes, there's no difference. We handle and investigate the cases the same as the city police would. However, the main difference is jurisdiction-wise. So if it happens on campus, one of the dorms, or any buildings here on campus, then we would be the agency that would take the case. However, if it happens off campus, so at a house party off campus or a different residence, then that would be the city of Eau Claire. That would be their jurisdiction. So that's the main difference. But as far as investigating it or any procedures that way, we would handle it the same way.
How many reports are prosecuted?
That's very difficult to say, I'll be honest. In my time here as a police officer, there's one case that I can recall that's actually going through the court system right now to get processed or prosecuted. Other than that, it's very rare for it to actually get prosecuted and go through the court system. It's not something we see very frequently. It's completely up to the victim. If they're willing to do that, we'll definitely support it and do what we need to. But a lot of times it doesn't get to that level. But they don't want to report it or don't want to continue the process, I guess.
Amanda Monlock is a Victim Services Director at CASA, which stands for the Center of Awareness for Sexual Assault. CASA is a nonprofit sexual assault resource center located on campus to be directly accessible for students, faculty, and staff. It provides free and confidential services for victims of sexual assault, like one-on-one counseling, information on referral, information about the legal system, medical system, and person advocacy.
Say 75 to 100, and I would say about 75% of those people are primary survivors, meaning the sexual assault happened to them, and at minimum, at least half of them are students.
Okay, how many of them report it and how many decide not to?
Well, we know that sexual assault is the most underreported crime
Right.
in the country. I think in the past couple of years I've seen willingness to report increase, but I would still think less than half of the people I see choose to report. I know that the Dean of Students Office is doing very shortly, all incoming freshmen I think will be doing some sort of an online education and quiz surrounding sexual assault and bystander intervention. There's a bystander intervention training and education through the Women's and LGBT Resource Center. My office is not funded to do prevention, but I do education about sexual assault and what that looks like on our campus and resources. So if you report to local law enforcement, they're going to investigate that and potentially hand it off to the district attorney so that the state can file charges on behalf of the victim that has committed an act that rises to the level of legal sexual assault. And that would mean going through the whole legal system and going through the court process, and someone could face prison or jail time or fines or things like that, right? Reporting to someone on campus means that campus officials have a duty to provide a safe learning environment for students based on Title IX and the Clery Act to give out information to students about what sexual assault looks like on our campus. So if you report to a campus official, what they're going to do is they're going to do a smaller scale investigation, which kind of mirrors the judicial process where they're going to talk to the perpetrator and the victim and any potential witnesses, and they're going to make their decision on if they think that sexual assault occurred or not. And then the perpetrator could face academic repercussions like probation or suspension or expulsion.
As a community, we need to stand together and demand for sexual assault to stop. Not on any campus, not on my campus.
Not on my campus.
Not on my campus.
On my campus.
Not on my campus.
Not on my campus.
Not on my campus.
Yeah.
Not on my campus.